So today I'm going to be showing you exactly why I moved over pencil spaces for my own online tutoring. You're not going to want to miss a beat for this review. So let's check this out. I teach math and I teach reading online, but I wanted to show you guys what are some of the features that you can see for math when it comes to using pencil spaces. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, but Joanne, all of the platforms are all the same. As long as I know how to do certain things on a whiteboard, I'm good to go. And there really isn't one platform that's different from another. And I would disagree because this platform actually has so many things that are integrated into it that can be utilized for your lessons. And the first thing for math is you can upload directly IXL on into here, and that can be a board or it can be a space that you have. If we go to the next one, we also have a ton of interactive manipulatives that are built on in. Like we have a number line here. If I come on over here to the apps and I go to the resource library and I go to mathematics, you're going to see there's all of these different tools that I can specifically use. And so that is exactly what I'm showing you right now. We've got fraction bars that you can manipulate to help kids really be able to see the different fractions. We also have, the circles and, the different slices that you can utilize. And you also have place value tools that are right there at your fingertips. So when kids are learning all about the different place values, we have our place value cubes, but then we also have this chart that we can build on in. So I don't have to write this every single time. I can begin to just enter in the information. There's a text that's right here. So when I click on the text and I put the text here, I can choose the size, then I can move it on up. But let's say I put a 6 there, I can move that to the spot that I want it to, right? So this specifically is, the thousands place, but just wanted to show you how I can easily type that on in, and I can write the whole number right here to make it bigger, smaller. I usually click the huge or the large because that's the size that I need in order to be able to really write at the level that I want to be able to. If I ever want to copy something that I've already done, I can copy to the clipboard, repaste it on in for us to have a clean copy. In addition to that, you'll notice that there's also different papers. So right now it's behind like dot papers, but I can even choose to change the background to writing rule, wide rule, narrow rule, large grid, small grid, triangles, blank, and I can also choose it to be any color that I want it to be as well. So that's something that I have that I can change for the specific whiteboard. I have all the 2D and 3D shapes that I need to do the different work that I do. And you'll see here that we have axes, charts, and analytical geometry tools right at our fingertips as well. We also have different currencies from around the world that you can see. You can see here, it shows the back of the coin so they can identify the coin from the front or from the back. And I can enter that monetary amount in here. There's also a set of playing cards that I can utilize with my students. And there's even some of those visual measurement tools that I can utilize to be able to measure and show people that, hey, we need to start at the 0 inch or the 0 centimeters, not at the end of the ruler, right? I could show that all right on side of here, and they can measure different resources and tools. Let's say I want to move this specific tool around. If I come down here, I can just rotate it just like this, right? And that allows me to rotate it any way that I want to as I use it. There's also an online abacus that I can use, and that is one of those tools that I can bring on in. So not only do we have apps over here, but then we have other things that I can utilize as well. So all of these tools on the side, I can add on in. So this is one of those tools that I brought on in, was an abacus that kids can move these around to be able to work on their number sense with the abacus. If I want to do probability, I have a spinner and I can put it up to 10, I believe. And I can also show, do I want to show the numbers? Do I want to show the colors? If I just want to show the numbers, I can edit this so that I don't have one of these there. This now just has the numbers. It doesn't have the colors. And we can do probability. There's even a clock that I can add on in here. So if I'm trying to tell time with one of my students, I could add that right on into my tool here. If I want to have just a regular clock, here I've got the geared hands and the kids can move around the clock to show different times. I can also have a digital time that's showing me the time if I want to right there as well. So lots of really cool things that you can do with the clock tool. And there's even a Desmos graphing calculator that is built on it. Everybody loves Desmos. And videos, obviously. Videos are great to be able to teach certain number skills. So I can utilize some of those videos that are on there, and it's really easy to pull them on in and not get kids distracted. So that's a little bit of the math side of what some of the features that I absolutely love about it. Let's take a look at the reading side. So I'm going to go back to my boards over here, and here are the literacy. So again, we got the collaborative whiteboards, right? But then I have all those little papers that I can choose. So if I'm working on handwriting, I can use the specific type of handwriting paper I would like to use in order to model, and then also have them write as well. And I can have my students all get a Huion board so that they can do the writing as well. And it works really, really well. Some other tools, they have the different blocks that I can be able to use for the letters. And again, if I just go on over to my apps and I go to the resource library and I go to literacy, English letters that are inside of here, it has the word mat letters that are here. And it also has some patterns that they can use to make longer words as well, that are all inside of here. So that's a really useful tool to be able to utilize when you're teaching reading online. There's even some sight words that are built on in with this specific tool. I could teach handwriting, which, oh my gosh, handwriting has been one of the hardest things to be able to teach online for me. I started back in 2010 with Skype. So to do things like this, where I already have these letters here showing the direction that the kids need to go, and then I have these tracing letters that they can come on in and they can begin tracing the letters in the correct way, makes teaching writing super easy to be able to do. I can also bring on in PDFs. So a lot of times I will bring in the book that I'm going to be reading with my students, and then I'm able to write right on this, book. If they're struggling with being able to read Antarctica, I can have them read the first syllable, and then I can have them read the second syllable, right? And we keep going and going and going until they get it. So this really helps to be able to guide them and help them when it comes to their reading. But I can bring on in videos when I'm teaching different things. I love using the UFly blending board. So if we take a look here, PAT, I can have them read it. But then as soon as I click one of these other letters, it will change the word for me. So I can now have rat, or I have sat, or I have tat, or pat, or mat, right? This is all built right on into it as well. I have interactive dice. So if I'm playing a game with dice, I can bring that on in, and they can roll that die. You can also collaborate on any of your Google Docs. So if you already have you're working on writing, you're having them write a specific summary for something that they wrote, that can all be built right on inside of here. And you have all of the features then for Google Docs right inside of your board that you're using to work with your students. So all the same features for editing are all here for you to be able to utilize. You can also embed instant vocabulary help. So you just bring in this dictionary. It's got a thesaurus as well. And if there is a specific word that a student is struggling with, you can type that on in right here. So I can type on in, let's say I'm looking up the meaning of the word vocabulary. Then I have how to pronounce it. I can find synonyms for the specific word that I would like to. So very, very cool stuff, all right at the fingertip that I need. But one of the really coolest aspects that does not exist in any other platform yet is if I have a student who is trying to learn a specific concept and I am at a loss, how can I teach this? I can go to Sparky. He's right on over here, and I can actually type on in for him to give me ideas for teaching a specific concept. And then he will create a lesson plan for me. It takes about 30 to 60 seconds for it to create the lesson plan. And then I just click the view button, and I'm able to see then that lesson plan already created. So here it talks about like what is silent E. Here's some things that I can do to teach the silent E. There's some different worksheets where I can practice my understanding. But then there's also videos and common mistakes that kids make. All of that is included inside of it to almost have like a teacher that is there that can help you out when you need it. I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you think of Pencil Spaces so far? Do you feel like it has more tools and resources than you've seen in other places? Or do you think it compares to some of the other resources or tools you're currently using? I know that it definitely has a ton more tools and resources specifically for teaching that don't exist on platforms like Zoom. So you definitely, if you're looking for something that was definitely made for teaching, check out Pencil Spaces. I know you're gonna love it. In fact, here's what some other tutors had to say as soon as they saw what this particular space was able to do. This was their reaction.
When I first saw Koala Go, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Now, when I heard about Pencil Spaces, I have been with Koala Go for about a year now. I started thinking and comparing of the things I like, and so I'm like, well, do y'all have a playground? And I don't have a playground. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I mean, it's nice. Maybe it's for the older kids or other kids or the English kids, because I teach math. And then a week ago, I was asked, hey, what's this Pencil Space stuff? I said, you know what? It's a nice program. I had asked Joanne, a couple of questions about, and I was told about some of the teacher tools and stuff about, you still have the separate breakout rooms and how, a teacher can see if a child is needing extra help. I said, oh, that's really good. I don't know that I need that. I'm good with Koala. And then today, Joanne did a presentation and I'm like, oh, it got that? Oh, it got a protector? Oh, it got dice? Oh, wait a minute. And you could do what? Is that already in there? I could put IXL, because all my kids have IXL. I could put IXL in there and leave it in there. They can write on the side so when I touch it doesn't erase. I could, okay. Do I have to keep scrolling? Oh no, it's tabbed on the side. You know what? I'm like, yeah, this is looking like really, like I'm getting ready to make the jump. It's looking amazing. I saw the English part of it. I love the letters, because sometimes I do have to teach English, how you can pull out the letters. I love how you can put the different programs within it. There's a lot of things that I love. And what I really love is one of my fellow tutors said that they checked out Pencil Spaces a couple of months, probably about a year or so ago, and they have stepped it up. So to me, y'all are keeping up with the innovation, which is what we need, because technology is moving and we got to keep up because the kids are moving along with the technology. So it's exciting.
I remember when we first saw Pencil Spaces, and I think I must have been not all the way sold, but now when you showed all the features, the whiteboard is way more interactive than any other platform that I've used. The ability to have the web browser and the whiteboard, and the student can work on both. That's always an issue of if the student is having trouble with their work, showing them. So I was sold right there. The manipulatives, I mean, it just automatically, I feel like the universe always works in unison. So last night I was working with a student. He was struggling. I feel like he was aggravated with me telling him to write on his paper. And I just was gonna tell his uncle to buy him a document camera for his birthday. So this eliminates that, because now he doesn't have to write it on paper. He can write on the screen. I can see it. He can see it. He can come back to it. My parents don't have to think about if I send them a Khan Academy, if I'm sending them all these different websites. Everything can be on one. I'm in love with it. I've already purchased. I've already set up some of my students. I'm go.